Hi parents! Well, we are swiftly moving into middle of the semester. It's Jazz and Michael John here. And we wanted to touch base with you and make sure that we're all on the same page with what we call our semester success themes. Now these are themes that we bring from week 1 all the way to the end of the semester. And we see the semester in chunks, the beginning, middle, and end. And we're essentially entering the middle of semester. If you have a college student, you're definitely in the midterms. High school students are beginning to have their midterm assessments. And the quarter ends this Friday. Yeah, the quarter ends this Friday for most high schools. And if you're in trimesters as well, one of your trimesters ends this week too. So we wanted to make sure you are aware a parent-teacher conference is coming up and talk a little bit more about our theme that we're working on.
Yeah, one other point to note is that the PSATs are happening at the end of this month, and registration for that is due soon. So make sure you're watching that. I think that all happens in the same week nationally. So if that's relevant to your junior or sophomore, make sure that that's on your radar.
Yeah, and you may or may not know that we do test prep. And so we have a focus really that helps us help your student get both confident about the test, right? SAT or PSAT or even ACT, as well as get confident on how to test take in general. So one of our themes right now is ritualizing our study. How do we enter study, follow through on our study the way that our study needs to be for a particular assignment or test course, and how do we exit it feeling confident that we did what we needed to do?
So we're already prepping for finals, the end of the semester, etc. AP tests, etc. AP tests also need registration by the end of this month, so just be aware, parents, if your kids are taking AP classes.
Yeah. Semester success themes. I just want to dive into those. And so if you have your parent support calls scheduled in, great. We'll be covering them consistently. Otherwise, if we're kind of hit or miss on that, or you haven't signed up for parent support calls, we want to make sure that you get a good understanding of what we're up to here.
And a parent support card doesn't necessarily mean that you need support. I think this is an opportunity for us to touch base, let you know what we know, we'll find out what you know. It's just a good way for us to, to tighten that circle around our kids.
Yep, it is truly a coaching call for you to understand how to bring what your student's doing in session with us, get more value out of that, and bring it into the day-to-day, right? And the goal here is to be connected in a much easier way. You learn about how to get into the zone, of your young person, phrasing and approach, to support their metacognition, and our parenting support and coaching is all about parenting the executive functions. So the theme right now is routine and ritualizing study. So what we're covering is how do you enter your study. There's a PDF available to you. We'll put that here so you have it and you can reference that. It's also a great tool. Anytime we give you a tool like that, you can say, hey, let's look this over. Maybe print it out and put it on the fridge. Have it available for your check-ins when you have your scheduled check-ins. That's something we covered last theme, which was the COO process with your student. And if you want more information on that, let's get that to you. But to cover what is my routine, how do I know what I need to do, and when I'm going to do it, that's really what we're up to right now. So you can touch base with your student, your young person, about that, and helping them ritualize so that it is more reliable. How they get started, follow through, and knowing they did a good job. Mike, could you cover some of those points, what we do in session and training those study skills?
Yeah, so study skills are not just a matter of time management or having the right tools. It's also identifying the behaviors that are necessary for effective study.
Okay.
And we have a blog on our site that's really simple. It's a simple study strategy, and it starts with terms. And for the simplest of form, I just want to mention that terms will include everything from vocabulary words to key concepts. equations that are relevant if we're talking about the mathematic realm. But then the next step is to make sure that all the readings are done. Readings, assignments, even readings that weren't assigned. Making sure that we take the time to read or even reread assigned content so that we're prepared for a test. And then the next step, of course, is to self-assess. That's the step that most people seem to skip. So make allies, create allies with your teachers, identify your resources for practice tests, and get to it. And do that a few days before the test so that you can discuss those results with your teacher or your professor. That is how A students function.
Yeah. Got it. So we're going over this in session, and as parents, you can support maybe by asking, hey, can you show me what you're up to? I understand you might have a test coming up. That will be on the CPAL that we have together with your student, or perhaps there's an announcement that came out from the teacher. I want to be really supportive for you. Can you show me what you're studying? Is there a way for us to make some time to do quizzing, with you? I just want you to know we're struggling with this at our home right now. We have a junior in high school, and she very much wants to be very independent in her study. Mike's gonna go get our doggy as he's strolling off. But this can be a struggle point for sure. And we're in a process right now to connect the choices that she's making regarding her study approach, the time she's putting into it, and such, and the results that she's getting. From that point, we can also assess if there's any particular challenge that might be happening that we can get coaching on from her coach at Just Two. Well, I hope that your entering into mid-semester is going well. Please sign up for your parent support calls, and just know we have executive function training, self-knowing support, and mastery of content all happening within session. So we want to make sure you know what's going on so you can get more value out of that in the day-to-day. Please be in touch so that we can help you with your approach and have more ease in the connection with your young person. All right, talk soon. Bye.